Chapter 8 Limestone and Chalk Landform. Limestone and chalk are sedimentary rocks of organic origin derived from the accumulation of corals and shells in the sea. In its pure state, limestone is made up of calcite or calcium carbonate, but where magnesium is also present, it is termed dolomite. Chalk is a very pure form of limestone, white and rather soft. Limestone is soluble in rainwater, which, with carbon dioxide from the air, forms a weak acid. A region with large stretch of limestone therefore possesses a very distinct type of topography. It is then termed a karst region, a name derived from the karst district of Yugoslavia where such topography is particularly well developed. Characteristic features of a karst region. Generally speaking, karst regions have a bleak landscape, occasionally broken by precipitous slopes. There is a general absence of surface drainage as most of the surface water has gone underground. Streams rising on other rocks only flow over limestone for a short distance and then disappear underground. For the greater part of their course, they cut their way along the joints and fissures of the rock, wearing out a system of underground channels. The surface valleys are therefore dry. When the water penetrates to the base of the limestone and meets non-porous rocks, it re-emerges onto the surface as a spring or resurgence. Limestone are well jointed, and it is through these joints and cracks that rainwater finds its way into the underlying rock. Progressive widening by the solution enlarges these cracks into trenches, and a most intriguing feature called limestone pavement is developed. The enlarged joints are called grikes, and the isolated rectangular blocks are termed clints. The limestone pavements may have been formed beneath the soil and are now exposed by the removal of the soil cover. On the surface of the limestone are numerous swallow holes, which are small depressions carved out by the solution where rainwater sinks into the limestone at a point of weakness. They are also known as sinkholes. Gaping Gill in Yorkshire is a fine example. These holes grow in size through continuous solvent action. Once water has sunk into the limestone, it etches out caverns and passages along joints or bedding planes. When the roof of an underground tunnel collapses, a precipitous limestone gorge, such as the Cheddar Gorge, is formed. Where a number of swallow holes coalesce, a larger hollow is formed and is called a doline. Several dolines may merge as a result of subsidence to form a larger depression called an uvala. Some of them are a mile across, containing much clayey soil from the limestones weathered after their subsidence. In Yugoslavia, some very large depressions, called polje, may be as large as 100 square miles, but these are partly due to faulting. During the rainy season, parts of the floor which are at or near the water table may become temporary lakes, but the drier areas are fertile and may support large villages. Where the subterranean streams descend through swallow holes to underground passages, the region may be honeycombed with caves and caverns, some containing ponds and lakes. The most spectacular underground features that adorn the limestone caves are stalactites, stalagmites, and pillars. Stalactites are the sharp, slender, downward growing pinnacles that hang from the cave roofs. The water carries calcium in solution, and when this lime charged water evaporates, it leaves behind the solidified crystalline calcium carbonate. As moisture drips from the roof, it trickles down the stalactite and drops to the floor where calcium is deposited to form stalagmites. They are shorter, fatter, and more rounded. Over a long period, the stalactite hanging from the roof is eventually jointed, to the stalagmite growing from the floor to form a pillar. Such features are commonly seen in any well-developed limestone caves. Example: Batu Caves, Kuala Lumpur; Mammoth Caves, Kentucky; and Carlsbad Cave, New Mexico in USA; and Postojna Caves, Yugoslavia. The major limestone regions of the world. The most characteristic stretch of limestone occurs in the northwest Yugoslavia. Other regions include the Caucasus district of southern France, the Pyrenees of Britain, Yorkshire and Derbyshire in particular, the Kentucky regions of United States, the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, the Cockpit country of Jamaica, and the limestone hills of Perlis. Human activities of karst regions. Karst regions are often barren and at best carry a thin layer of soil. The porosity of the rocks and the absence of surface drainage make vegetative growth difficult, so that limestone can usually support only poor grass and short turf. Some sheep grazing is possible. Limestone vegetation in tropical regions, however, is luxuriant because of the heavy rainfall all the year round. Settlements are scattered and the population is often sparse. The only mineral of importance is lead, which occurs in veins in association with limestone. Besides this, good quality limestones are often used as building materials or quarried for the cement industry. In West Malaysia, the limestone outcrops of the Kledang Range and the main range are quarried for the Pan Malaysian and Tasik cement works. Chalk. The landforms of chalk are rather different from those of other limestones. There is little or no surface drainage, and the valleys which once contained rivers are now dry. These are often called combs. The chalk forms low rounded hills in southern and southeastern England where they are called downs and in northern France. The chalk is covered with short turf and in places with woodland and is used for pasture and sometimes for arable farming. Because of the friable nature of the rock, shallow holes and underground caves networks do not generally develop.